Now that gun control groups seem to have won in their battle against Glock, they're turning their eye to another company, announcing that the gun control groups are coming for Ruger next. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Unfortunately, this move from Everytown Law, Everytown's legal arm, does not surprise me one bit. As reported recently, Glock announced that they were discontinuing pretty much most, if not all, of their current firearms in favor of a new V-series that they said was about streamlining, but it also turns out that the new design will allegedly prevent people from installing switches. Unsurprisingly, Everytown, who spearheaded lawsuits against Glock, is taking it as a win and trying to use the same argument that gun makers are purposefully making it easy for people to modify their firearms and turning it now against Ruger. In fact, Everytown Law has already sent a letter to Ruger warning them that they are next. But before I get into the details on that, this video is brought to you with the help of My Patriot Supply. Most of us are feeling the effects of crippling inflation. The world seems to be going to hell in a handbasket. A socialist just won New York, though, that didn't surprise me much at all. And all in all, it's starting to seem more important than ever to be prepared. Right now, My Patriot Supply is running a limited time offer to give you more value for your money. When you order a 3-month emergency food kit, you'll receive a free 4-week food kit along with it. My Patriot Supply has delicious calorie-packed meals made for long-term storage that have up to a 25-year shelf life, which is peace of mind that you can count on. And right now, you can get 4 months of emergency food for the price of 3. So to take advantage and get prepared today, go to preparewithliberty.com. So I mentioned this letter. Eric Tershwell, who is the head of Everytown Law, sent a letter to Ruger's general counsel this week warning of what he called an urgent public safety matter. That urgent matter is one of their pistols, the RXM, which Ruger introduced last year. Tershwell also sent a copy of the letter to Connecticut's AG because Ruger's headquarters is in Connecticut and the CEO of Magpul. It's an interesting 8 pages. As Ruger is no doubt aware, certain handguns, most notably pistols made by Glock and others copying the same design, have been easily modified into machine guns that fire fully automatically with the insertion of a readily available but illegal machine gun conversion device. The frequency of shootings with such pocket machine guns has skyrocketed in the past several years. Instead of shunning such a design, Ruger appears to have run toward it, designing its new RXM handgun, introduced in December 2024, to mimic a Glock and to be customizable with the same aftermarket parts. As Ruger must have known, introducing such a design into the marketplace risks exacerbating the proliferation of illegal machine guns on the streets and further endangering American lives. The letter goes on to point out how Glock is pulling their easily modifiable pistols from the market, and so is reportedly Shadow Systems. This will leave Ruger as the largest U.S. manufacturer of a pistol that appears to be easily convertible into an illegal machine gun, and risks Ruger's RXM becoming the new crime gun of choice across the country. While we are not aware of any public reports to date of modified Ruger RXMs recovered in connection with a crime, it is almost certainly only a matter of time, given the rising popularity of these conversion devices and weapons that support their use. So it's not a problem yet. There is no evidence of it being a problem, but Everytown is anticipating it will become a problem and are thus trying to make it Ruger's problem. To not take responsibility for this thing that hasn't happened yet, which has nothing to do with the company and their products, but rather what third parties choose to do with them, would be giving an empty promise when the company says it wants to be a model of corporate and community responsibility, according to the letter. The only solution, says Tershwell, is to pull the RXM from the market completely until Ruger changes its design. The letter goes on to say how machine guns were banned because of how popular they are with criminals and reviews how they're already illegal, though of course we know you can get a special license, blah 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 blah. But the era of the civilian machine gun is back with a vengeance. This criminal renaissance came about because of pistols whose design has allowed them to be easily, illegally modified with the insertion of a simple, dime-sized conversion device called an autosear. These devices are sometimes known as Glock switches because of their common use in Glock pistols, although Glock does not make them. Pistols affixed with autosears are illegal machine guns, and indeed these switches themselves are illegal to possess under federal and many state laws, and can empty a 30-round magazine in 2 seconds. So we know these things are illegal, and that they have nothing to do with the firearms companies themselves, but still we want you to take responsibility for it. Basically. Even though we already admitted there's no record of anyone using a Ruger in this way. They also tie in 3D printed guns, which again have nothing to do with Ruger. In fact, all of the examples Everytown gives are of gang-related crimes committed with not Rugers. But, says Everytown, Ruger deliberately copied Glock's design after these concerns became public knowledge, purposefully releasing a handgun that could take Glock aftermarket parts and accessories, not because it is a known and reliable design, but because criminals. Everytown admits that they have not even examined one of these things, but are assuming that because it mimics Glock, it's likely just as easy to modify. They drive this point home by saying, well, Ruger, your marketing said it was easy to personalize, so that's proof enough. They also list a couple YouTube and Facebook videos saying this is proof that the Ruger can take a Glock switch. The letter closes with a thinly veiled threat that if Ruger continues to sell the RXM, it will open itself up to significant litigation risk. Everytown says that since Chicago, Baltimore, Seattle, Minnesota, Maryland, and New Jersey have all sued Glock, that Ruger should expect these same lawsuits if it continues business as usual. So basically, bend to our demand or else we'll drum up the lawsuits just like we did against Glock. Sending a copy to the AG seems to back up that threat. Everytown didn't give a deadline, and as of November 5th, the RXM is still on their website. So we'll see if they pull it or wait for the potential lawsuits to roll in. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you are new here, ring that notification bell and drop a comment down below. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there and happy shooting.